Tucker Phillips. I'm going to be doing some stand-up comedy today, my first attempt at it. I apologize in advance if my jokes are, well, terrible. But I'm just doing this for fun, so I really don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. Have you ever noticed how most comedians, like all of them, have at some point in their career told jokes about airplanes, specifically airplane safety? They talk about how the stewardesses, or excuse me, flight attendants, as they're properly called, tell you about how to buckle your seatbelt like we've never worked a belt buckle before or ridden in a car. They point out where the emergency exits are and all that other things. But even comics never tell you the truth in their jokes. And I think the truth is pretty funny, so here it is. Planes fly at hundreds of miles per hour. If you get in a crash, what the hell is that little seatbelt going to do for you? Nothing! Not a thing! Put your head between your knees and kiss your butt goodbye. You know? And emergency exits. Please. Planes fly tens of thousands of feet in the air. Where are you going to go? I mean, how many of you people out there watching carry a parachute with you when you get on a plane, just in case? Okay. Now, another thing about comedians is they have their own language. I'm going to call it comic speak. Now, this doesn't really apply to me since I'm performing in my house and not up on a stage, but professional comedians. Here is a translation of a phrase from comic speak. They'll tell their joke. People will laugh. They'll go, thank you, settle down, that little hand gesture. Well, that seems nice and polite and like they're grateful. Here's what that really means. Shut the hell up! I'm up here on this stage baking under studio lights. Just let me tell the next joke already, people! See, I can't really do that because one, on the internet I can't hear you laughing, and two, I'm not under any studio lights, so I can't be rude to you. I hope you're grateful. Now, the next thing I want to talk about comes from my own family. Now, to understand some of these next stories I'm going to tell you, you need to know a little bit about my family. We are Roman Catholic, and associated with the Catholic Church is a lot of ceremony, when to stand, when to sit, when to kneel, when to respond to verbal cues, you know. So little kids, they don't get this. They just kind of do as their parents tell them, you know, and try and go with the flow. This story happened when my mom was a little girl. My grandmother took her and my uncle to church, Catholic Mass, you know, and she just told them, okay, just kneel down, pray to Jesus, you know, tell him you love him, you know. And so here's my mom, about 5 years old, perfect little angel of a girl kneeling there praying, I love you, Jesus, you're my friend, and just sweet and angelic. And here next to her is my uncle doing the same thing. After a while, he gets a little tired of kneeling, you know, because he's going to kneel for a long time sometimes he gets tired. So he kind of rests his back against the seat behind him, sort of half kneeling. My mom turns to him and goes, what are you doing? Kneel down and pray to Jesus! Do you want to go to hell? Right in the middle of Mass. Silent prayer. Little angel to shrieking devil. Okay, the next story I want to share with you is about my little brother. One time, this also took place at church. You know, my mom has to work on Sundays, so sometimes we have to leave a little early, generally right after Holy Communion, so she can get to work on time. Well, this was one of the rare Sundays when she didn't have to work. So, we were planning to stay for the whole period. Well, Luke was still a little kid. He didn't like this idea. You know, he wanted to go home and play. So he tugged on Mom's sleeve and said, Mom, can we leave after you and Tucker go up there and get your bread and whiskey? Little kids. They're like comedy gold mines. Whenever I'm around little kids, I should just like have a pencil and paper with me, you know?
Maybe then you'd have some better jokes.
Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Okay, since the Peanut Gallery is my little brother, I'll tell another story about him. Now my mom, whenever she has a headache or stubs her toe or some other small little ache or pain, she likes to say, "Oh, the pain and the misery of it all." Well, one time we were coming home from supper, I think, and we stopped and got the mail. For some reason, we'd gotten a bottle of Advil PM in the mail. And Luke looked at it and says, "Hey, look, Mom, Advil PM, Advil pain and misery." Again, little kids, come to gold minds. Okay, the next story I want to talk to you about is, this involves my uncle and my cousin. Now, I will not use real names here since I don't have their permission, but we'll just call my uncle Frolly B. That's his nickname. And we'll call my cousin John, because I can't think of anything else on the spot right now. To understand this story, you need to know a little bit more about my family. We have a word in my family. It's just a silly, nonsensical, made-up word that means, oh my goodness, gosh, whatever, you know. It goes, no Donnie. That's our word, no Donnie. So, my cousin John was complaining about something one day. I don't know what, but he was just complaining to my uncle. My uncle listened to his complaint and just said at the end, well, no Donnie, you know. Naturally, my cousin was kind of mad about this. He wanted his complaints to be taken seriously. Well, a few days later, my uncle, working around the house, he stubbed his toe, like my mom. He goes, the pain and the misery of it all, my toe. My cousin John, he just couldn't wait to get old Frolly back, so he gets him. Your toe? No, Donnie! Okay, and now another story. This one is about me. This is the last joke I have, so hopefully you've been enjoying these. If not, let me know and I'll stick to playing guitar. I was staying with my uncle, Frolly B, and a cousin of mine from my other uncle from out of town was coming to stay with us for the day too. We'll just call this cousin Eric. Okay? So, now when I was little, my uncle liked to call me Tucky Phillips. You know, and I didn't so much mind, you know, but when my cousin was over, I didn't want to be called Tucky Phillips. So, I told my Uncle Frolly B, I said, okay, whatever you do, when Eric is here, try not to call me Tucky Phillips. And he's like, okay, I won't do it. I'll try not to. So, me and Eric were having a great time. We were back in my room playing video games. Well, something went wrong with the console or the TV or something. I don't remember. So we got my uncle. He's back there trying to fix it. You know, Eric's distracted. He's trying to help fix it. Uncle Frolly B says, well, I don't know what's wrong with it, Tucky Phillips. You know, and Eric, he's real busy working on the thing. He didn't notice, but I couldn't let it go. Oh, no. I had to look him straight in the eye and say, I told you not to call me Tucky Phillips. The one thing I asked you to do was not call me Tucky Phillips. But what'd you do? You just had to go and call me Tucky Phillips. Well, you'd have to be deaf to not notice after that little display. So, for the rest of the day, it was me running around being chased by my cousin Eric yelling, Tucky, Tucky, Tucky Phillips. Alright, thank you, my wonderful audience, whom I can't see. I hope you've enjoyed my jokes.